we hear the stories being told of money's being dissipated amongst many other things. And the resultant effect for you and I, listening, where does it all end? I'm thankful to say that this morning we've been joined in the studio by the Member of Parliament for the Jirapa constituency. He's a member of the Public Accounts Committee, a committee which has been sitting through and hearing people come and explain how they blew monies and issuing or recommending their onward onboarding to the Attorney General's office for prosecution. He's also the Vice Chair of Parliament's Committee on Foreign Affairs, in the person of the Honourable Caucus Dapila. But along the line, in terms of this conversation about the fight against corruption, we'll be joined on phone as well by Adam Senan, who is the co-chair of the Citizens Movement Against Corruption as well. But feel free to send in a message to us. We're streaming live on Facebook. Our handles 3FM927. Same handles on Twitter as well, 3FM927. We're streaming this as well on YouTube. Same handle, 3FM927. And so drop a message in terms of the conversation we're just about to have, having to do with our fight against corruption, whether or not you believe we can ever win this fight, and your expectation of the government. Yes, there's the talk of oral and the expectation on the Attorney General's office, who we understand is in search of a lot more prosecutors. Because even if anything is to go by outside of oral, Auditor General's report and its recommendation means a lot more of such cases are going to come before him, and there will be the need for prosecutions along that line. The promise of fast-track court as well is one that we're on the lookout for, asking the question whether or not that will be a reality. Let me say a big hello and welcome to the Honourable Caucus Dapila. Honourable, many thanks for joining us. Dapila. Honourable, speak into the mic for me because at the moment the listeners could not hear you. I trust that all is well with you.
Thank you, my brother. I'm very fine. How are you? Well too. It's a pleasure to actually have met you as well. I've been to Parliament a number of times. I'm not sure we've been able to engage in all of my brief encounters when I come to Parliament. I'm looking forward to possibly when the budget is ready and I come around again, I'll drop by and say hello to you in and around Parliament my as pleasure. Well. You're always welcome. Always welcome. Talk to us. You're a member of the Public Accounts Committee, and so perhaps that's where I want to start before I even venture and subsequently find out about the constituency, how the people are doing. You've been sat through all of these hearings and the matters continue to come up, and it brings about this question: where are we headed to in terms of our fight against corruption? Does it look like we can win, being a member of the Public Account Committee and hearing the infractions that are coming through, not from politicians, your average politicians, which the average Ghanaian will believe is very corrupt and is stealing, but this time, public servants?
Well, thank you, my brother, once again. Thank you. Let me say good morning to yourself, your distinguished listeners, viewers, and everybody. I say good morning to the good people of Jirapa.
Sunrise on 3FM.
My brother, corruption is a canker that we need to nip in the bud if we want to move this country forward. People have the tendency of trying to dip their hands deep into the public purse and take money that belongs to all of us. Monies that can build schools, monies that can build hospitals, monies that can construct roads, monies that can support the health sector, alleviate poverty. Some individuals, quote unquote, think that once I'm in charge, let me take it through some dubious means to benefit myself or herself or himself. And that is not helping this country. Let me also say that the Public Account Committee that is sitting currently, we are reviewing 2024 audit review.
Just last year.
Just last year. So it is not 2025. I want to put that on record. You see, it is just that when you inherit assets, you inherit liabilities. That is why you see the current MDs, current CEOs coming to answer for instructions that occurred in the previous administration. So, but once they took over as a new heads, new CEOs, new ministers, new whatever, they will have to come and answer. That is what I just want the public to know, that this audit review that we are currently sitting on is for 2024 year. It's not 2025. From next year, that will be going into 2025. So, my brother, I sometimes am appalled by some of the infractions that some of these agencies would have to come and answer. And even sometimes more appalled by the responses from the bosses or the leaders or heads of these agencies. You know, corruption is, we should try to make corruption very unattractive in this country if we want Ghana to develop. You can earn money, good money, without dipping your hands into the public purse. You know, you can work, you can do business. I tell people, you see, you cannot work for salary to be rich. If you want to be rich, you have to do business. So when you see businessmen have money and you want to make money, go and do business, genuine business, and make money. But if you are somebody who's a salary earner, I don't know how you can be paid salary to be rich. If you are not a businessman, you are not a businesswoman. It's so difficult. You understand? So let's try to help develop this country. But you see, I am happy about the stance of the president, the Attorney General, and all the investigative bodies now, YOCO, the CID, and all of that. All of them are up to the task. And I'm telling you that no stone will be left. They will do everything possible to fight corruption in this country. And they are doing it, and we are seeing it. Anybody who thinks that the AG is slow in prosecution is not true. You see, the AG that I know, Dr. Dominic Ayeni, he will not want to take a case to court and lose. So he will want to do thorough investigation, have his evidence right before he sent you to court. And that's exactly what he's doing. Some of the things that he comes to tell us, even by public opinion, court of opinion, we know that, look, this matter, if it is actually true what the AG is saying, if they present this before court, how will you exonerate yourself? How will you exonerate? If you move money from government account to your wife account, your wife company account, then to a property owner, how will you exonerate this? How will you exonerate yourself? You understand?
But they also say it's not straightforward like that when you get to court.
Yes, that one he knows. That one we all know. We know the gymnastics and the law, the legalities that take place in court. We know. But what I'm trying to say is that if it's indeed true that you move money, you are the CEO of a company, right, and you move government money into your wife's account and move it from your wife's account to a property that you purchase, how will you explain this? How will you come out of this? Between me and you, we are not lawyers. But how will any lawyer defend this? How are you going to defend this? You understand? So for me, I'm saying that if all that the AG is telling us, if it's indeed true, I wonder how a lawyer will be able to defend this. You understand? But for me, that is not even my problem, right, brother. My problem is that, do we mean well for this country, politicians, and all civils and public servants? Do we mean well for Ghana? Do we have Ghana at heart? If indeed we have this country at heart, some of the things that comes out of the public domain or come to the public domain is so ridiculous. Look,
as in the things which have come before the Public Accounts Committee.
Yes, and the other corruption or corrupt activities or corruption investigations that has come out. When you listen, do we mean well for this country? Is it that we want to take positions and enrich ourselves and our families? Is that the aim?
But isn't that what the current political structure is set up for? That such that when you work,
that is not how
it is seen as a reward system.
Yes, you
more
can be
than
rewarded.
more
you
than
can be rewarded. Look,
you coming to work to serve the interests of the country.
Anybody, Article 71, as a member of Parliament, when I finish serving my 4-year term, they pay me some ex gratia.
Yeah.
That is, the state has rewarded me. So it is not for me to dip my hands into state coffers unlawfully. You understand? Yes. So let's think about this country. Let's think about the millions of people who are sitting on the floor to write. When you go to many of these our schools today, they don't even have furniture to sit. They don't have furniture to sit on. In today's modern Ghana, in today's contemporary world, people still sit on the floor to write. See our roads. Very terrible. Look at poverty that is staring its ugly face on us. And yet people think that when they have the opportunity to serve in government, they should be rich within no time. And that is the problem. Look, I tell people, when you see businessmen and these grown-up men who today are living their life, enjoying and those things, and you want to emulate them. This is not how they did it. It took time for them to do it.
Right.
You understand? It took time. So when you want to emulate people, listen to them, take the good examples, how they've been able to do it, and you work hard and then you can achieve it. But don't think that they just achieve those things overnight. That's not how they did it. And anybody today, I am telling you that any office holder, especially public office, if you hold any public office, be ready and be assured that there will be a day of accountability.
You tell your colleagues who have received ministerial appointments, who are CEOs and all of that.
Every appointee, all of us, civil servants, public servants, anywhere that you find yourself to work for the state, be rest assured that there will always be accountability. If you think today, yesterday, some people were in power. They were so powerful. They felt untouchable. So they were doing things with impunity. Nobody could hold them to any office for investigation. So they thought that was it. They didn't know that power is transcendent. They will leave office and then people will be called to come and account for their stewardship. That's exactly what is happening. Then people will sit down and say, it's witch hunting. It's not witch hunting. Look, let me tell you, I'm a former DC chief executive. I was a DC for Jirapa. When I left office, I was investigated. They called all of us to Yoko, and then we answered to some infractions that they felt we didn't do well. And they look at my records and they're like, no, you didn't do anything bad, go. So for me, I believe in accountability. I didn't see it to be witch hunting.
Right.
No, not at all. I serve as chief executive for the assembly. So if they call me to come and explain how certain expenditures went,
you most certainly must avail yourself.
You must avail yourself. And I didn't see it to be witch hunting. My family didn't see it to be witch hunting. My party at that time didn't see it to be witch hunting. You understand?
That was after the 2016
That was
election.
2017.
Yeah.
I left office as DC in 2017. 2017, around January 17th, we were all sacked to go.
Yeah.
You remember? You understand?
Yeah.
But we were asked to come and account. Well, we did. So everybody should be prepared, and you should watch your back. Be very careful what you sign, what you put your signature on in your various offices. Don't go and allow civil servants to rush and bring any document, then you put your signature on it without thoroughly reading. No, don't do it. If there's no time, tell them to bring it at the time that you have time that you can critique that document before you sign. You see, the public sector, we made it look like it's a place for us to make money, to the detriment of the state.
Who's made it look like that? It's
the individual.
Because every time we hear different individuals talk about, the president has even spoken about it, the former president spoke about it, that don't see the public sector as a space where you come and make money amongst
so that
things.
is why
that continues to happen.
That is why President Mahama is walking the talk. Let's support him. Let's support the current president. Let's support the current leadership to fight corruption. You understand? So far, have you heard of any scandal, any financial scandal in this regime? Have you heard it? So far, it should tell you that the president, look, President Mahama, when he was swearing in the ministers, when he called them, when he launched the code of conduct for his appointees, everybody, when you look into his face, you know that if you do anything untoward, President Mahama won't spare you. He won't defend you. He will not. President Mahama is a legacy president. He will go home with that legacy, that dignity, that respect, that integrity. And he tells his ministers, his appointees, please, let's work for this country. Let's don't do anything that will bring disgrace to us. So for me, as president, as leader and head of government, if you go and do anything like that, I will not. I will leave the investigative bodies to investigate you. Don't say I am wicked. I am not. You are paid. You are paid as a minister. You are paid as a CEO. You are paid as a government appointee. Manage with that salary. Don't do anything that will bring disgrace to the government. No, President Mahama won't shield you. And he's walking the talk. You remember, he invited the AG, the Attorney General, and then UCO and other investigative bodies for them to look at the Auditor General report, how they can prosecute people who have done one or two things untoward by way of corruption. He just did that last week. And
there's a promise of...
You understand? And the Attorney General on Monday, the Minister of Justice and Attorney General appeared before the Public Accounts Committee to answer to some infractions with regards to their ministry. You understand? And the AG reiterated it. He said they are not going to joke. So if we look at the current, the whole, we've been sitting from Monday and we'll end tomorrow. You know, when you look at, we are referring many of the issues to the AG for the AG to prosecute, to do proper investigations and then prosecute.
Right.
You understand? Look, some of the things that you watch, are you proud as a Ghanaian?
We were listening in on the ECG budget overruns in excess of 180 million cedis, and it leads me to ask
that one is not even my problem. You see the Hoptel contract that ECG signed in the previous administration. When you read that contract, you weep for Ghana. I have seen nowhere where you can allow a private company to collect revenue, and take their share and take their percentage and pay whatever that is due government into government account. I haven't seen some anywhere in the world. Even the local assemblies, the revenue collectors, when you go and collect revenue, you are entitled to some commission by way of a percentage.
Right.
But you don't collect the revenue and take your commission first before you pay into the assembly account. They don't do that.
This was revealed yesterday.
And this one, that's the hotel contract that they entered into in the previous administration.
Has it? Do you know if it's undergone any reviews? Because you're speaking of this and say it's unconscionable and should not be.
It's not something that anybody should even. You can't enter into a contract like that, my brother. You give a private organization, a private company, the opportunity to collect revenue on your behalf and take their share first and pay whatever is due government into government account.
Did the managers tell us whether or not this is being reviewed? This agreement with Haptel, which you're talking to us about?
Yes, the current management, the current MD. If you check, I even had the opportunity to question them, and I was worried for the current MD because these things happened at the time he was in the MD. You understand? He is the one that came to answer to these infractions. But I know him, he's a meticulous man. He won't do those things. And I believe in the current leadership of the energy sector, particularly the minister. The minister won't watch these things happen from. So watch what you saw. What you saw with ECG. In 2025, I am telling you that you won't see these things. You won't see many of these things under the Honorable Minister, Dr. John Jinapor. Jinapor will not allow that. He will not. And then the current MD of ECG is a very nice, meticulous, hard-working man. I know he won't condone some of these things. He will not. All that I'm just trying to say is that, look, ECG was recklessly managed. I am telling you as of now, they can't even pay their debt. They can't pay their suppliers. They procure items that
far in excess of what is required.
What they don't even need in the next 10 years.
So some of these.
Who will manage a company like this? Nobody will manage your company like this. You procure items. The items are not. They have not reached the stores, and yet you paid. You paid the supplier. Who will do this? Nobody will do this.
So managers who oversaw this, and that was a recommendation from the vice or the ranking of the committee, that they be handed over to the Office of the Attorney General for prosecution. Yeah. There's a criticism of the work of the Public Accounts Committee and, to a large extent, the Auditor General as well, because yes, these infractions are worrying. They insult the intelligence of the ordinary Ghanaian in terms of how monies which can go into their development is used just anyhow. But increasingly and over time, we've just had these hearings which anger all of us. We'll hear recommendations like this that we're referring you to the Attorney General for prosecution, and that's where it all dies off. We don't hear anything again, and the next day you
that's why I'm telling you that President Mahama is saying that we're in a different regime. President Mahama is saying that, look, this is people who have delved into or put their hands into government coffers unlawfully after the Auditor General reports and after the public hearing. There's a law. A committee is supposed to be set up to look into the infractions, you understand. But President Mahama is saying that we'll take it beyond that. The committee. Let's refer these matters. Let's ensure that the AG prosecute these people.
Right.
So it's not going to be business as usual. It's not going to be business as usual. Watch, people will be prosecuted based on this current Auditor General.
The 2024 Auditor General's report. Who are we to expect, before we switch from the conversation of corruption, which are the agencies expected to appear before you today?
Yeah, today we are.
You're continuing with the energy sector?
The energy sector, we are done. We are done with the energy sector. We are looking at lands, Ministry of Lands and its agency, like Forestry Commission and the others. You know, we're also looking at some of like ports
and harbors,
and many others.
Right.
You know.
Right. So let's switch from the conversation of corruption, and we hear you oral and all of that. You've mentioned bits and pieces of that. Ghanaians will hold you to it, and I believe you're very much aware of that, and the expectation that continues to hover over your heads as a government on delivering accountability to the good people of Ghana. Let's talk the vetting of the Chief Justice nominee, because yesterday we know that the minority tabled a motion before the Clerk of Parliament seeking to arrest the November 10 vetting of the Chief Justice nominee. You in the majority, what do you make of this? I don't know if you were in the House, whether or not it's debated, it's expected to be debated, but they say there's a legitimate concern or reason why they're asking the entirety of Parliament not to vet Justice Bafo-Boni until the determination of all of the legal matters involving the Chief Justice.
Well, is their democratic right to petition the Speaker by way of a motion. But the law is the law. We will not countenance any delayance in vetting Justice Paul Bafo-Boni.
There are pending legal matters.
What are those pending legal
possibly
matters?
Which could see...
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you, that matter has been dealt with. The Tokunu issue has been dealt with.
There's a request for a judicial review in terms of rights.
What I'm saying is that who judicial
before
review?
the High Court.
Look,
her substantive case has not been heard at the Supreme Court.
My brother, look, our colleagues on the other side should not waste our time.
This is not
positions are not possessions. Okay, positions are not possessions. If you hold a public office, and you misconduct yourself and you've been removed from office, why this litigation? I said that what happened on the Tokunu issue is a closed book. You can't go and open anything. You can't do nothing about it. The president has done his work. The president has followed the constitution. The president do not do anything outside the constitution of this country. He followed Article 146 and pursue it to the latter, to the finality, and then a decision has been taken. So what, again, are you saying that the president should not have done his work? Is that what they are telling us? Article 146 was invoked, and we followed it, and all the gymnastics that they use to even stop the committee from working, all of the, anytime they go to court, the court threw them out.
Those were injunctions. The substantive cases have not been heard.
What are the substantive cases?
They filed cases challenging
the president has no power. The president has no power to refer to constitute the committee to look into the matter. That the president should not have received the petition.
No, those are not the matters.
So what are the issues? What I'm trying to say is that, my brother, the president has a mandate to exercise based on the constitution, and the president duly did that. So what are you challenging? That the president should not have done that? They are wasting everybody's time. They are wasting their own time. Nothing will change. Nothing will change. Watch.
That's a prejudicial position to take.
There is nothing.
When there are matters to be determined.
There's nothing to be determined. That's the point that I'm saying that what happened, the present decision by way of Article 146,
right,
and following the 146 to its closure, is a closed book. The president has followed it to a finality. You cannot turn it. You can't wind it back. That's the point that I'm making.
But the Attorney General,
yes,
who is a member of the NDC,
yes,
in one of such applications before the High Court, believes that there are subject matters within the CJ's petition to the High Court which requires interpretation from the Supreme Court. And I'll give you one of such instances, because the Chief Justice says the warrant for her removal could have only done so to remove her from the position of a Chief Justice and not as a Justice of the Supreme Court. So she's gone to the High Court asking that warrant be set aside and that she be restored even as a member of the bench of the Supreme Court. That's in one breath, one of the applications. The second is that all throughout the process when Article 146 committee was working, there was no avenue through which her allegations of right abuses could have been dealt with by a competent court of jurisdiction. After the work of the committee is done, she believes there have been rights violations, and so she has gone to the High Court. Is it the case that you're saying that the High Court will not rule in her favor? Because we all can't make that determination. That is the basis upon which your colleagues say, if there is a chance the High Court could say there were rights violations, let's hold on so that we can hear the matters.
So what I'm saying is that we
can make a determination.
What I'm saying is that how will this how will this prevent Justice Bafo-Boni from becoming a Chief Justice?
There could possibly be two Chief Justices if the court, because we both cannot make a determination while being seated here.
Listen, my brother, what I'm saying is that if Tokono is saying that if they are taking the powers of a Chief Justice or the position of Chief Justice, but I should still remain in the Supreme Court as a judge, you understand? It means that she's not talking about being a Chief Justice again. She's not talking about being a chief judge. She's talking about being a Supreme Court judge. So how will that hinder the vetting of the nominee for chief justice? That should not. That shouldn't. It shouldn't be a hinder at all. You understand? If you think that, well, the president has invoked Article 146 and has duly removed me as the chief justice, but I think that I'm still entitled to be a Supreme Court judge. You want the Supreme Court to interpret that. That's fair. That's fair. So why are you now blocking the vetting of a chief justice?
Because she also believes that the committee's work was unfair on her. The conclusions and the matters in the petition should not amount to her removal. And so she's challenging that as well.
You cannot challenge it. You cannot. That's why I said that the work of the president, by virtue of Article 146, is a closed book. You cannot challenge it. They are wasting their time. They know, they are lawyers. I'm not one, but the little I read, it's a finality. You can't whine it. You can't bring it back. You understand? The president has done nothing untoward. The constitution has given, clothed with the president such powers to exercise. And the president has duly exercised that to a closure. Nothing can be done about it. They know.
Your colleagues in parliament know.
They know. They are only trying to waste people's time. And it's politics they are doing. It's politics. It's just politics. If you check from the onset of this Madame Tokono's case, they've been doing gymnastics about it just to delay the process. You understand?
I want us to take a listen to what they had to say in their exact words, and then perhaps we'll draw the conclusion, and then we'll not draw a conclusion, but we'll get an understanding properly.
Minority has served notice on the clerk to Parliament that we have a motion for the Speaker to consider the suspension of all activities, both at the Parliamentary Select Committee on appointments and the plenary, on anything that has to do with the consideration of the nomination of Justice Paul Bafoboni as the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana. Justice Tokono has about 6 pending cases at various courts, high courts, all the way to the Supreme Court, and she has 3 pending cases at the ECOWAS courts. And we believe that for good order's sake, it's very, very important that we finish and complete exhaustively all matters that are still pending before we consider the nomination of the acting Chief Justice. It is also in the best interest of Justice Paul Bafoboni, as he is being considered for consideration as a Chief Justice, that whatever has been done to Justice Tokono may be done to him. Minority has served notice on the clerk to Parliament that we have a motion for the Speaker to consider the suspension of all activities, both at the Parliamentary Select Committee on appointments and the plenary, on anything that has to do with the consideration of the nomination of Justice Paul Bafoboni as the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana. Justice Tokono has about 6 pending cases at various courts, high courts, all the way to the Supreme Court, and she has 3 pending cases at the ECOWAS courts. And we believe that for good order's sake, it's very, very important that we finish and complete exhaustively all matters that are still pending before we consider the nomination of the acting Chief Justice. It is also in the best interest of Justice Paul Bafoboni, as he is being considered for consideration as a Chief Justice, that whatever has been done to Justice Tokono may be done to him. Minority has served
So that's the minority, and it's just going to repeat itself because of the settings that we have.
So
you've listened to.
So
them.
my brother, are you saying
3 pending cases?
Are you saying
Supreme
that?
Court,
Are you saying
High
that?
Court, and all of
Are you saying that this country should wait until all these court cases are exhausted, until they do all these gymnastics using the courts around the world, before we come to vet the new Chief Justice nominee? Is that what they are telling us? I can tell you on authority that it won't happen today, it won't happen tomorrow, it will not happen. They know the law is the law. You understand? You cannot, the appointment committee will never stop its work because there is a court case pending. They will work. The judiciary will work, Parliament will work. They will both work simultaneously. We will not wait for somebody who has filed numerous cases around a matter that the person knows that the law is the law. She herself will tell you that the law is the law. So we won't wait until they waste everybody's time before we come to have a new Chief Justice. So I'm telling you that we will not have that time for them. And I can assure you that the appointment committee will work. The appointment committee will work. You cannot use this motion to gag the appointment committee from working.
But these bother on the separation of powers as well.
Yes.
Whether or not legal suits and injunctions should stay in the hand of Parliament. We saw in the 8th Parliament there was an instance like that where you were in the 8th Parliament.
Yes, I was in the 8th Parliament.
Where your hand was stayed in being able to transmit the controversial anti-LGBTQ plus bill to the president. This, some say, borders around that region again. And if you took a cue from when the matter was before the Supreme Court and you didn't transmit or take a decision on the LGBTQ plus bill, perhaps you should be taking a cue from the course of action Parliament took and stay your hand again.
What I'm saying is that if you talk about that thing, the president even wrote through his executive secretary that Parliament, we should not even attempt. Parliament should not, the clerk of Parliament should not even attempt to send
the bill to him.
To him. You understand? And that was also another untoward thing that the president did at the time. You see, if the president could have waited and received the bill, and he has other ways some reasons he could give for not assenting to the bill. So there was no need for him to have said that, don't transmit the bill to me. That was wrong, you know. What I'm saying is that, my brother, Article 146, by way of our Constitution,
we believe is done.
It's done. You can't do anything about it. You can't do anything about it. They are wasting everybody's time. That's the point that I'm making here. And every lawyer, every serious lawyer will tell you it's a finality. It's a closed book. Nothing untoward happened. The president did not do anything untoward. The president simply exercised his mandate. He just followed what he's supposed to do as a president. Why? Do you know that some people could ask the president to resign if he had not followed this Article 146 petition thing? You understand? So the president simply did that. So where is the president wrong? Are you going to say that after all these lawsuits that you file, we should wait, the government or the country should have time for you to use your do all these gymnastics before? Look, is it the first time that Article 146 was invoked in this country? No. Article 146 has always been invoked. This is the only time
we have gotten here.
Yes, this is the only time somebody thinks that it is my position. This is the only time that somebody thinks that that position is possessed, is for her, and for that matter, I should not be removed. Even when you do things capriciously, nobody should tamper with your position. And I'm saying that it won't happen today, it won't happen tomorrow.
I'll hold you and I'll have you relax a bit as I get onto the phone line to speak to Professor David Abdullah, as the governance advisor of the African Parliamentary Network. Just pick his thoughts on this subject matter, and then I'll come to you, and then we'll continue our conversation on this matter and other matters in relation to your work. We'll have to talk about the Jirapa constituency as well, because I believe constituents will be listening, and we'll continue to pick up some views and thoughts from them from the ground as well. But Prof, I appreciate you joining us this morning here on the 3FM Sunrise. And the conversation is quite simple. This motion that's been tabled by the minority seeking to arrest the vetting process, you've observed the business of Parliament, their dealings for a while. Is this normal? Is this expected? And is this something that should actually result in the vetting not coming off?
Thank you for having me. First, it's not normal. And secondly, you know the judicial process in this country, it takes forever, for your case to be heard and so on and so forth. So I don't think it is something that is actually going to stop the work of government and not stop our country to move on. I think it is fine for the minority to be able to say all these things, but I don't think it's going to work.
They advance the argument that of the many things that we've seen, there are quite a number of court cases, some of which border on the position of the Chief Justice, such that if Parliament were to proceed, and this is a big if because we're dealing in a lot of hypotheticals, and approves of the nomination of Justice Bafo-Boni, and if the courts, and a big if as well, because we're dealing in hypotheticals, per what it is that she's put before the High Court, for instance, which is challenging the work done by the Article 146 Committee and declares null and void and violations and what the legal expert will want to call it, and reinstate her, then we will have a problem on our hands in terms of two individuals possibly occupying that position. That is why they believe a situation asking for a halt, for instance, will best serve the interests of the good people of Ghana to a great extent.
Well, the work of the good people of Ghana is to have a Chief Justice. So what the minority, in my opinion, are doing is to at least try to stop the process. But like I'm saying, it's not going to work because at the end of the day, the former Chief Justice have been removed through the regular, legal process. So how are you challenging a legal process? That is part of the Constitution. I mean, are they challenging the fact that what is in the Constitution, the removal of a Chief Justice, has not been followed? If it has been followed, then whatever the minority is doing, in my opinion, is legal gymnastics. And it wouldn't stand because Ghanaians really want the country to move on. And that is what we want at this particular point in time. So, granted, they have their rights to go and file, the former Chief Justice have the right to file whatever injunction she has as a Ghanaian. But, at the end of the day, Ghana must win. And you were talking about hypothetical. It's a hypothetical that she's going to be brought back. It doesn't work like that.
And considering the position it is that you're espousing right now, what then becomes of this motion which has been tabled by the minority? Do we say that it be disregarded by the Speaker, for instance?
Well, that's why you said they are the minority, but not only are they the minority, if you look at the constitution of the current parliament, who has the supermajority? So, I think it's fine, but if you look at it practically, I don't think it should stop the work of the country. I believe that the acting Chief Justice should be
undergo the vetting process.
Yes, and that is it. But anyone have given hyperbole that what about if the former Chief Justice wins the case? It's a what about. We're not dealing with what about in this particular. We look at practicalities, and in my opinion, it's It's not gonna amount to much. So. I don't want to say that, but I think it's the fight of a losing battle.
A fight of a losing battle. But the matter will come before the House, because once it's been tabled in as a motion, it will come, the debate will be expected. We've not got wind from the minority as yet that should this debate or their plea for the suspension via this motion be not granted, they will not be a part of the vetting process. But what would you expect going forward with the motion before the clerk?
You saw in the previous parliament that sometimes they had walked out of parliament. So I don't think it's going to be anything new, especially in this case whereby the majority might not need the minority to to pass the acting chief justice. I mean, this is my view. I'm just giving you my view, because you have to understand in a democratic process, the majority, whether it is right or not, they always carry the day in Parliament. So I believe cool heads should reign. We should try as much as we can not to do a lot of politics with our development. And in this particular case, the former Chief Justice has gone through the process. She has been removed. Let's move on.
Even when she believes there are rights abuses?
Well, they also believe that her rights are not abused. If her rights were going to be abused or were abused, it should have been at that particular time, but not after. And I mean, how many cases has she filed that has been thrown out? I mean, right? So I believe that your rights are abused, but at the end of the day, it's a democracy, and sometimes it's not. Democracy is not pretty. Sometimes it's ugly, but at the end of the day, it's democracy, right?
Right.
Right.
Kindly wrap up for me so that I ask another question totally different from what it is that we're discussing.
No, I'm saying that, look, yes, the minority has a right, if they want to boycott, still, I mean, the majority in Parliament would have to go on. But it will be good for them to be there and ask tough questions. But if they say they're going to boycott, it's fine.
Right. Let's move away from that and let me pick quick thoughts on you on yesterday. The Speaker had cause to raise concern as to absenteeism by members of Parliament. It comes up every now and then, but the House just returned from what was a long break, and already we're hearing the Speaker raise these concerns. A failure to exact tough sanctions or punishments for this in the past, reason why we continue to see it happen? Because if you want to put this in a context, the Speaker is even advocating for leave for these members of Parliament who he's complaining they do not come for sittings.
Yeah, I think the Speaker should walk the talk. At the end of the day, if really you want parliamentarians to be in Parliament and not absent themselves from Parliament, which has been an issue for a long time. This time around, what he says, he should act on it. Let's see some parliamentarians that are punished for being consistently, away from Parliament. If not, it's not going to carry weight. The credibility will be gone if we don't see a Parliament punishment exacted. The other thing is that we have, I think at one particular platform I had recommended that you have biometrics for people to, when you come to Parliament, you clock in, let them know that you are in Parliament, and that is going to be very easy for you to be able to track people that do not come to Parliament. The other part that has not been done is education, and continuously educating most MPs that, hey, look, coming to Parliament is a huge call. I mean, you are called to serve, and you cannot treat it as any other business. So I believe that it's a good thing that the Speaker is speaking about it, but it's not. It should be more than speaking. Let's see your actions. Let's hold these people's legs or hands to the fire. When that happens, and people see that people are losing their seats because of being absent, I think most people will sit up.
Right then. But there are those who say that could be a bit excessive. You lose your seat because you don't come to Parliament, then that will scare everybody.
Is that not part of the Constitution? Is that not part of the standing orders?
It is a part of the standing orders.
Are you trying to say that they have every right to violate?
No. That's not the point I'm making, because we've seen in the past, and perhaps I'll go into the reason why I was raising that. We've seen in the past that people have indeed absented themselves, and the exact punishment has not been meted out. Is it to say that they feel, oh, it is too much a punishment to give to somebody for not coming to the house? Reason why we're not seeing it being slapped on anybody who flouts the standing orders and the Constitution?
No. It is because they have not really enforced the law. I remember a situation, a British parliamentarian was even late, for a parliament hearing whereby he was going to give a presentation. He resigned. So, if we really want good governance and for our democracy to, we shouldn't even go to the point of enforcing the law in that way. Most of the MPs should have the conscience that when they don't do the right thing, they should step aside. But I think what the problem is enforcement. If you have laws in the book and they don't bite, then it becomes like a toothless bulldog. It can bark, but it won't bite. Are you scared of a toothless bulldog? It's not going to bite you. It will bark. And that is, in my opinion, what is currently the case.
Right.
The speaker should make sure that what he says, he walks the talk. And a few people in Parliament, when they are absent and, continuously being absent, and they see action where some of them, are punished, or, if it's too much and they are let go, then I think people begin sitting up and obeying the laws.
Right then. I appreciate you joining us this morning here on the 3FM Sunrise.
Thank you very much.
That's Professor David Abdullah. He is the governance advisor with the Africa Parliamentary Network. And Honorable, I'll come to you on the subject matter of absenteeism just before I go for a quick break, and then we continue our conversation.
Yes, honestly, I have a problem with how business is structured in Parliament. I have a problem with that. And until leadership, by way of reviewing our standing orders, or leadership taking the decision to restructure how business is done in Parliament, we always come to talk about this issue.
And when you say business structured, what do you mean?
Business, for instance, I think Parliament should be structured in such a way that when plenary is sitting, no committee should be sitting. You understand? You have a case where plenary is ongoing and committees are also ongoing. For instance, yesterday I was at the Public Accounts Committee, and all of us were supposed to be there, and we're supposed to be in the chamber as well. You understand? So all that I'm saying is that leadership should sit and look at they should review how business is done in Parliament, how business is conducted in Parliament. Otherwise, we'll always come back to this conversation. It will never solve the problem. You understand? First and foremost, you advertise plenary sitting is ongoing, chamber business is ongoing, then a matter is also being referred to a committee to sit on at the same time. So all the committee members will have to move out into a committee room to handle that matter whilst plenary business is also ongoing. So how do you get everybody into the chamber at the same time if you don't restructure parliamentary business? I think, Mr. Speaker, and the leadership should look at it holistically. They should review it and then look.
But isn't that the reason why sitting has been moved to 2 p.m.? So between 10 and 2 p.m., possibly committees could sit and address these matters.
They should firm that. They should let the leadership of the committees know that between this time and this time, don't sit. No committee should sit. You understand? But here is the case. You are in the chamber, and your committee chairman is whipping you to come and start a meeting, very important meeting, that the same plenary has referred to the committee to handle. You cannot be two. One human being. You can't be two. You can't be here and be here. So definitely once you are in the committee meeting, you cannot be in the plenary. And the plenary will be empty. And the public optics are not good for us. You understand? So we need to explain this to the public. And the public also needs to know. So in all of this, let's restructure the business of the House. If we don't restructure the business of the House, we cannot achieve total attendance in the chamber.
All right. I'll go for these quick spots of commercials. When we return, we'll talk about you're the vice chair of the Foreign Affairs Committee, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I am. I am.
I don't know if the naming or the nomenclature has changed, but I've known it to be the Foreign Affairs Committee for quite a while.
Yes.
We'll get into some matters in relation to that. Then we can talk the constituency and the work being done there, because I'm sure the people in the constituency in Jirapa are as well listening to us. Well, back after these, we continue our conversations here on the 3FM Sunrise.
My first years in university were very difficult for me. I struggled with acne like so many of my friends. When I started using Forever Clear Blemish Control, we all noticed the difference. It was like a light bulb went off. My skin was clearing up, and with it, my confidence soared. I never knew how much a product could change someone's life until I watched my face go through this transformation. I came back from vacation totally radiant, and it inspired all my friends. When I decided to compete for Miss UPSA, my friends were all rooting for me. It was incredible to see how far I had come. I truly embodied confidence, and then I won. It was one of the proudest highlights of my university experience. Forever Clear Blemish Control not only helped me clear my skin, but also gave me the courage to chase my dream.
Join Tish and countless others who have transformed their lives with Forever Clear Blemish Control. Forever Clear, caring for tomorrow's beauty needs today. This advert is FDA approved.
The winning season is back, but this time I am collecting the wins like jollof at a wedding. The luckiest season 3 is here. Your chance to flip your luck, or maybe your bank accounts too.
2 easy ways to join. Dial *712#. Hit 1 to buy for you, or 2 to gift a friend. Feeling lucky? Pick 1 for a random number, or hit 2 to choose your own. Pay with mobile money. Done. You're in.
Or go to theluckiestafrica.com, click community tickets, choose your number, or let the system do so for you. You can buy a ticket for your boo or your favorite barber. Pay with Mumu or card if you're abroad.
1 ticket could turn your 1 Ghana cedi into 500 times more. And the whole community could win 10 times over.
Dial *712# or log on.
Let's get lucky together, because luck is everywhere.
Play responsibly, not for persons under 18 years. This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
Having trouble dealing with ticks, mites, and fleas infestations on your dogs? Use Bravecto Chew. Just give your dog 1 tasty soft Bravecto Chew and they will be free from ticks, mites, and fleas for 12 good weeks. For wholesale and retail, contact 0243 554 612. Remember, Bravecto Chew may be used in pregnant, breeding, and lactating dogs as well as puppies from 8 weeks of age. Bravecto Chew, your perfect solution to all ticks, fleas, and mite infestations.
This advert is FDA approved.
The best in the morning is on 92.7 Sunrise on 3FM.
And we're back here on the 3FM Sunrise. Let me talk to you about the Luckiest Africa, because it's a season of winning again, and this time it's not just about chasing wins, it's about collecting them. The Luckiest is back, bigger and better, with chances to change your life, and I'm showing you 2 easy ways to get into the game. The first is that you grab your phone and dial *712#. Choose option 1 to buy a ticket for yourself, or option 2 to buy for somebody else. And if you want the system to generate a lucky ticket for you, go with option 1 again. But if you prefer to choose your own ticket number, that's option 2. Confirm your payment with Momo and you're in. With the online way, head to theluckiestafrica.com and register. Tap on community ticket to either pick your own lucky number or let the system choose for you. You can buy a ticket for somebody else as well. And when it's time to pay, you use Momo if you're in Ghana, or you pay with your card if you're abroad. 1 ticket can multiply your money 500 times and your entire community could win 10 times and over. This is your golden chance. Hop on and let's get lucky together, because luck is everywhere. We're still having a conversation with the Member of Parliament for Jirapa, who's in studio with us today. We've started this conversation, talked corruption, talked the minority concerns, amongst many other things. Honorable, before we went on that break, I was mentioning you being the vice chair of the Foreign Affairs Committee and the likes. Some weeks ago, there was that heated debate as to whether or not the agreement we went into with the U.S. The foreign minister says it's just an MOU, and that's just that. But there are those who argue that, look, if you look at the provisions of Article 75 and then the Gitmo 2 case, this agreement should have come before Parliament. As a committee, were you aware of this to start off with, even before we go to whether or not it should have come before you?
Well, let me let everybody know that, look, the current president and
3FM
his appointees will not take any decision that won't be to the benefit of this country. We will not take any decision that will jeopardize the peace that we are enjoying in this country. The truth of the matter is that the Foreign Affairs Minister stated clearly that it's an MOU. It doesn't need parliamentary approval. But if it needs parliamentary approval, he will definitely bring it to Parliament. But from where he sits,
right,
it is not the matter or a matter that needs parliamentary approval. You understand? We are majority in Parliament. At the committee level, we are many. So if something needs to be done at the committee level, why will the minister hesitate to bring it to the committee level? Is it that when he brings it, it will be thrown out? Absolutely no. You understand? But the point of the matter is that, look, these are African descent who have been held hostage in U.S. prisons for 1 or 2 infractions, sometimes not criminal actions and all of that. If somebody overstays his visa and he's being caught,
right?
You understand? The person is being caught. And
some were seeking asylum, though.
That's what I'm saying.
Some were seeking asylum in the U.S. and the U.S. court had said they could not be removed from U.S. soil because they had come there seeking protection, and yet we received them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But Ghana is also being touted as, you know, the beacon of democracy in Africa, and because of our democratic credentials, human rights, ethics, and all of that, many people will revere or will want to come to Ghana to seek asylum. So there's nothing wrong.
But in this case, they didn't come to seek asylum here. They were brought against their will.
What I'm saying is that if the United States took their decision, they have their laws. We have our laws.
Right.
You understand? They say that we will send you to African countries. So they name some African countries who are willing to keep them.
Right.
You understand? And we notice that these are not harmful people. We can keep them. They don't have any bad record that we cannot, accommodate them. It's just like Ghanaians. If some Ghanaians are being put in some prison somewhere in another country and they are deporting them or repatriating them to other African countries and they are saying they won't receive them, we will not feel good. We won't be happy. You understand? But all that I'm saying is that, look, the president was duly advised. National security did thorough investigations into these people that were brought to us. And that is why we accepted them. So the MOU that they are talking about, if the MOU warrant parliamentary ratification, we will duly do that. So this should not bring any confusion.
But the ruling or the justices of the Supreme Court in that Gitmo 2 case, the Margaret Bamfo and another, when they took the matter to the Supreme Court, the court was very clear in its language. Which is why people are asking, why didn't you just take it to Parliament? Because the court said in whatever language, be it an agreement, a verbal,
you should also,
an MOU,
you also
whatsoever,
remember, listen,
it has to come before the House.
Also remember that Parliament was in recess for long. And you cannot also say that if the minister has to take a decision, or if the president has to take a decision, they should wait till Parliament resumes.
But that is what the law says.
Yeah, that is the law. But I'm also telling you that we have, let me tell you, many MOUs that were entered into.
Right.
Some far back 2022, some far back 2023, some far back 2017. It is the Honorable Ablakwa, just in June, when he took over, as Foreign Affairs Minister that he brought them to the committee level for ratification. But they took those decisions and they took actions.
So he will bring this one to before.
So I believe if indeed this MOU needs parliamentary ratification, it will be brought to Parliament. But for people to say that, look, wait until Parliament take the decision, how will you then do that? You have to take a decision as government actor, as a duty bearer. Then you say that I cannot take the decision until Parliament reconvene. No, that means that we cannot run this country the way we should run it. So that is what happened. The time they had to take the decision, Parliament was on recess. So today, Parliament has reconvened. So if it's
as a committee, have you discussed this as to whether or not there's a need, as a Foreign Affairs Committee, have you discussed this, that per what it is that we're seeing play out, this agreement must come to Parliament, and so you are advising the minister to bring it before Parliament?
I am saying that the committee is yet to meet the minister on this matter because Parliament was on recess for a long time.
But you've been back 3 weeks.
You understand?
It was a pressing matter that borders on whether or not the decision of the Supreme Court has been disregarded.
It's not a life and death matter.
Oh, really?
No, I don't think so. Why? There are more pressing issues to this. We have people are living with people
who don't have food to eat.
Don't have food to eat. We should be concerned about that. Our roads are bad. School fees matter. Those are the things we should be more concerned about.
I heard you say the law is the law. And if the law is the law, the law says
I understand, but I'm saying yes, we will sit on it. We will sit. I'm telling you that decisions, MOUs that they entered into way back 2017, 2022, we just rectified them in June, just this June, when Honorable MP, the Minister for Foreign Affairs, brought it for us to rectify. That's the point that I'm making. So I'm saying that, yes, Parliament has just resumed. This is the third week. So why will anybody think that, look, if this is so urgent that we have to sit on it on the first week of resumption? No, we are going to meet the minister on it.
Because on that same matter, you've been accused of hurriedly moving these individuals who were brought in outside of the country when they filed processes in courts challenging their detention at Caucus.
What I'm saying is that, you see, the fact that a matter is in court doesn't mean that, look.
No. This is not a subject matter of it being in court and whether or not the House can. I'm saying that on matters relating to the activities following the bringing in of these individuals, they challenged their repatriation into Ghana in our courts. And when the process was filed in court, the lawyers of the foreigners who were brought in say that as a government, when they filed the process in court, you have moved them outside of Ghana and taken them to Togo, such that you've nullified the basis upon which they were saying that they didn't want to be repatriated and brought here. That's a point I'm making.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is I'm saying that look, it's a matter of just sitting down to Jojo. The truth of the matter is that Ghana has signed to international treaties, conventions, and all of that. You understand? We are part of many international treaties, international conventions, UN, world bodies. So you see, you cannot, when it comes to these things, then you say you are not part. And when there are goodies, you want the goodies to come to your country. You understand? I've heard people said that the Honorable Ablakot took the decision to enable the US, take the visa restriction on Ghana.
All right.
You understand? So my brother, I even want to ask a question. Granted that is even true. Go to the embassies and see how many people want to go to the US.
So that's justification.
I am saying that granted that is even true, for them to bring us this returnees, for them to return these people to us, and to lift the visa restriction on Ghana.
But that will fly in the face of human rights and some of the international treaties you speak of that we are partners to. I'll get that for you.
Look, bro, what I'm trying to say is that we want the betterment for Ghana. We won't do anything that will bring disgrace or make us not have our peace.
in this country.
In this country.
But
I'm saying that, granted, assuming without admitting that it's even true that the Foreign Affairs Minister accepted these deportees because he wants the visa restriction on Ghana to be lifted. Do you know the number of people whose education were affected because of just this 3-month visa thing? People who have medical reasons to travel to the US, they could not travel. Students could not travel. People, businesses were affected. So we should look at the bigger picture, instead of just trying to do politics with it. You understand? Instead of just trying to do politics with it, the president was duly advised. The national security did thorough background check on these guys before they were brought here.
Right.
You understand? So all that I'm trying to say is that ratifications of these MOUs can always be done at any time. But if we are always waiting for Parliament to take a decision before the minister acts, before the presidency acts, then we can never work. That's the point that I'm making. And I made reference to MOUs that were entered to so many years ago. It's just in June we rectified them.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that.
On doing good for the good people of Ghana, the Interior Minister says that persons who engage in activities of galamsey, who are foreigners in this country, will take them to their home countries instead of prosecuting them here.
I don't want to comment on this. This matter has been dealt with. Yeah.
So you don't want to touch on it, because I asked that in line with the fact there are some who say that is not doing the country good, because if they are destroying our lands, then they should be dealt with here. It's one of the arguments made, and because you make the argument in the line of doing good to the good people of Ghana. The good people of Ghana, a number of them have been sharing their concerns who say they don't think that is doing them good.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't really want to comment on this. It came up, we dealt with it. It's been let's leave it.
Let's talk about the.
But I don't think that anybody will be spared if you are caught doing galamsey as a foreigner.
Let's talk about the Jirapa constituency, second term in Parliament. How has it been in the House and all of the activities, constituents back home and all of that?
Well, the work of the MP is so cumbersome now, very involving, it's very time-consuming, so laborious, so difficult in terms of time, in terms of resources, in terms of everything. You know, constitutionally, the work of the MP is to make laws. But because of bad politics, we made it now look like the MPs are the agents of development. People don't even hold government appointees accountable.
The DCs and others.
People don't even hold them accountable as compared to even the members of Parliament. When everybody also knows that the core mandate of the MP is to make laws. But because of bad politics, MPs are now the ones who are they are now the agents of development. And that is serious. It's something that is not sustainable. It's not sustainable. It's something that I know will soon collapse on all of us until we let the public know that this is the work of government agencies. This is not the work of the member of Parliament. You understand? That is the first challenge as a member of Parliament. Everybody knows this. But because of bad politics, look, because you go to campaign, because you want to win power as an MP, you promise the people you construct roads when you know you are not, that's not within your mandate. But you go to promise the people. You know
your colleagues have been doing
that. That is why I'm tempted
to say you have been.
I'm saying that is because of bad politics. Bad politics is the reason we are at where we are. And all MPs are struggling with this matter. They've carried a load on their head that they are struggling with, but they cannot say, help me to put the load down. Because they are in it. You have to find your way to balance it. You know, the point I'm making is that, my brother, look, you are supposed to, Parliament is in session, you are here, you are supposed to be in Parliament, you are supposed to be in the constituency. You understand? Constituency activities, social events are ongoing. At the weekend, they expect to see you physically present. So you have to balance it, balance chamber work with parliamentary work. That is why sometimes you see the chamber being empty as well. And that's why I said that we need to restructure parliamentary business. Otherwise, we always come back to this conversation. You understand? Look, there are very good MPs in the chamber. An MP, no, your work as an MP must be reflected in the chamber and it must be reflected in the constituency. And to me, even in the constituency more, if you want to be an MP, you can be very good in the chamber, but your constituents will boot you out because of your non-visibility, because of your non-performance at the constituency. So the fact that you are a member of parliament, you must be in the chamber. That is true, you must be in the chamber. But everybody also know that you must be in the constituency. So if you don't blend it, you don't balance it very well, you cannot belong in parliament. You'll be booted out. That is the first challenge.
Right.
The second challenge is the resources. Everybody knows the funds that comes to the member of parliament. They know, and they know that those funds are not funds that can actually bring that development that we want for our people. They know. I have reasons to contribute to a statement made in the House of Parliament about how local assemblies were not adequately resourced. And I contributed to it by way of the fact that I'm a former district chief executive. You understand? My brother, if you send 300,000 Ghana cedis to the assembly, 300,000 Ghana cedis, 300,000 Ghana cedis can construct 3-unit classroom block. 300,000 Ghana cedis cannot construct 3-unit classroom block. It cannot construct a chief's compound. And this 300,000 is what you send to the assembly per quarter to use to develop a whole district. Is it magic that they are going to perform? Absolutely no. So I have said that if we want to really bring governance and development to the doorsteps of the people, we need to increase the district assembly common fund. But thank God to President Mahama and the current finance minister for walking the talk. Now, 80% of common fund is being sent to the local assemblies for development. 80%. When the local government committee invited MMDCs to come for some infractions that are on them, I have heard one assembly, a municipality, that said that the whole of 2024, they were giving 1.5 million Ghana cedis. That is last year, the whole of 2024. Just in 2025, 2 quarters, they received some 9 million Ghana cedis.
That's Jirapa.
Not Jirapa. Jirapa, the whole of 2024, the common fund that we received wasn't up to 1 million. It wasn't up to 1 million Ghana cedis. Just 2 quarters, we've received some 6 million plus.
Right.
You understand? Just 2 quarters. So it tells you that President Mahama is walking the talk. You understand? So for me as a member of parliament, that is the first challenge that we face as MPs. Now, but nevertheless, the MP for Jirapa is not sleeping. I am into education. Just recently, I launched an educational trust fund with the with the MCE. I contributed so much to it. This is to ensure that, look, we noticed that BECE performance has been bad over the years. So we need to look at how to raise money to be able to ensure that proper supervision and other learning materials are procured to enhance teaching and learning. That will boost the performance of our BECE students. Right. You understand? So we are working on that. I am supporting needy students. So far, this is my 5th year as member of parliament. I've given some support to not less than 1,000 students who are brilliant and needy, who need support to be able to pursue their education. I do that all the time. Skills development is one thing that I don't joke with. Right. So at any point in time, you see sewing machines in my house. When I'm going home, I buy some sewing machines, I buy some hair dryers, because at any point, especially the girl child, I'm so concerned about the girl child. I tell them, if for certain reasons you cannot pursue your education, but get a skill before you think of getting married. And that is what I preach it all the time, even on campaign platform. And I tell parents, don't give your girl child to a man when your girl child has no job, has no skill. So I go home, they come, and I like, okay, you want to learn, you want to be a seamstress. Right. That's fine. This is a sewing machine for you. How much will they charge to train you? This is the amount. Go and fill the form. This is the amount. Go and pay for it. You see, it's so revealing and fulfilling when you are able to change the life of somebody, particularly the girl child. You understand? So skill training is one thing I don't really joke with. If you go to health, I've been doing so much building of, what is that? If you go to Heng, I've started the construction of 20-bed capacity ward. If you go to Ulo, I've started the construction of 14-bed capacity ward. If you go to Kunchane, we've done a maternity ward. It's almost about completion. You go to Jamvore, you will see one we are doing there. You go to Konchuri, we are doing one there. If you go to so many of them, the health sector, I do so much in the health sector. Right. It won't be long. It won't be long. I'm going to award teachers who have been doing very well from kindergarten. You have the kindergarten category, you have the primary category, you have junior high category, you have senior high category. The report is ready. I don't care whoever that received the award. What matters is for me to motivate teachers to be able to impact the needed knowledge that my people need in Jirapa. So those are the areas or things that I have been. Water. My 5th year, I dug not less than 80 boreholes. A borehole, one borehole costs minimum 35,000-40,000. One borehole, I did 85 plus. Some of them, this one 85 plus is completed. But I have also dug some of them that the concrete slabs have been done.
They are in various stages of completion, which is the government language for.
You understand? I will fix them very soon. Very soon, I'll procure the hairs and then the pumps, and we'll fix them for them. You know, so those are some of the things that I am doing in the constituency. So for me, my brother, the work of an MP is a very tedious one. If you even joke, you won't have a life to yourself, or your life is being tied to how the people feel about you. So at any point, you are careful what you are doing right and what you are not doing right. You understand? So it's a very tedious job, but it's a passion. I have the passion for the job. I've started politics not today. I've climbed through the ladder. I've been party polling station executive before, party activist, polling station executive. I was constituency secretary for 2 terms in the constituency. I was DCE. I contested to be regional secretary. I failed that bit. Then I came to parliament, contested primaries in 2019, came to parliament. I won convincingly, some 74% in 2020. This one I did some 80% plus. So it tells you that Cletus is doing something. Cletus is doing something.
Well, quite a number of messages here on Facebook as well. This one from Prosper Enko Ang. He says, you are really doing the work we ask you to go and do, the good people of Jirapa. But reminded that if the roads are good enough, you leave Accra on Thursday and drop at Jirapa for the social activities during the weekends. More vim, honorable. So the road situation
so it's something we are dealing with. Just yesterday, at the Public Accounts Committee, the president will cast salt for many of the roads in the Upper West region. President is coming to Upper West 5th November to cast salt for most of the roads, and I can share many of our roads will be dealt with, particularly the Wa Sola Bole Bomboy Tachima is being allotted to contractors, and the contractors I know have the capacity to deliver. Then you have, especially in the Jirapa enclave, you have the Busse to Heng, Jeffisi, that one will be done. Then you have one from Domini Kane through Ulo to Opare Chapuri to Heng, that one will also be done. You understand? So many of the roads, and the Jirapa town roads, what I want to assure the good people of Jirapa is that we have repackaged all the roads that were done and abandoned, that they started and abandoned. We've repackaged them. It is with the minister, and I know very soon we'll get a contractor to come and fix the Jirapa town roads.
All right.
The Jirapa to Domini Road, we are working on it. It will be done. Jirapa Duori will be done. And the Jirapa to go Babili Road, they call that big bridge will be bridged, and then the road will finally be tied to Babili. So we are doing something. Rural edification is something that I'm not joking about. It won't be long. Just this year, before the year ends, December, some 20 communities, contracts will be awarded for rural edification to be connected to some 20 communities. Let me assure the good people of Ping is in Jirapa. let me assure them that they will get lights before December. It's an assurance I'm giving them.
Right.
We are working on the meters, and very soon they will drop lights and they will get lights before December. It's a promise I'm giving them. Hemguri, Tuopare, Ulbazu, Kori, Durijan, all those places. Their rural electrification work will resume very soon. Very soon. The contractors will come. We are looking for LV poles. When we secure some, the contractors will come to site and then they will get lights. Another area that I'm so much concerned about is unemployment.
Right.
It's one thing that I'll praise myself. I'm doing so much to ensure that my constituents, those who have completed school for many years without jobs, secure some jobs. And I'm working on it. And they know I'm not the one who will secure a job for somebody and go and announce.
Right.
But I know people are happy that at least Honorable Cletus has been able to lobby for me to get a job in this agency. And that is my pride. I won't sit here and mention I got this here, I got this here, because I'm still looking for more. So I won't even mention where I get them so that other people will go
and go and eat where you are eating
where I'm eating from. But my people are happy. My people are happy.
Right.
Yeah. I'm sure just by next week at least I will secure some 7 slots for some people to also start work.
Right. Yeah. This one from Eugene B. Gandabi says that, good morning, 3FM. On behalf of the people of Jirapa, I'd like to extend our appreciation to the Honourable Member of Parliament for his commendable work. We're pleased with his performance thus far and is certainly proving his detractors wrong. We commend his grassroots approach and dedication to serving the people. That's another one as well. Good morning to my MP from Danny Jude. Says the Honourable Cletus, keep doing the good work for Jirapa in Ghana. It says that he's watching from the Jirapa constituency. A bit more. This one says, Eric, please ask him about Ulo Dantier Tuapale Road. It's a concern for him as well. Is that a part of the roads which
yes,
you are expecting to?
It is. Just last week, I can share videos with you and pictures where we sent Ghana Highways Authority, the regional manager, to go and
so they say Ulo Dantier Tuapale.
Yes. Not just that one. Ulo Dantier.
Yeah, Ulo
Dantier. I know that area very well. Yeah. So we are working on it. Some estimates have been done on the road. Just 2 weeks ago, we sent some the highways manager, regional manager, to come and do assessment of those roads. It's not only that one. Gozu Dantier is also being looked at. Right. Then we are looking at the Zuri, the dam, how to bridge it. We are looking at Kene Kasiri Road. We want to bridge that place too, because it's a farming area. The farmers farm and they are not able to bring their produce to towns to sell, and it gets rotten, it gets bad there. So we are trying to fix that area too.
Right.
So we are doing a lot. Just Nyane, recently when I went home, we started a chief's compound in Nyane Nyamvare. It's at roofing level. We are going to do that. Myself, the MCE, we are doing one at Nimbari Comport, a chief's compound. We are doing a 3-unit classroom block at Hang. Hang JSS will soon be constructed. A contractor will come there very soon to build a brand new JSS for you people. We are doing another 3-unit classroom block at Pinyiri. Pinyiri, when I was DC, we did 3-unit classroom block for them to start a school. Now they need 3-unit classroom block so that they can have 6. To be able to have a full-fledged primary school. We are going to, the MCE will soon come and castle for them to start one. We are turning Hen Senior High into a boarding. It's a day school, and the contracts have been awarded. We've advertised, and then contractors have bid for contracts to be done. So we are going to do a boys' dormitory, a girls' dormitory, a 12-unit classroom block, kitchen and those things with boreholes, so that we can start a full-fledged boarding school. So we are working all these projects. I'm sure early November, all the contractors will move to site in the Hen Senior High to go and start the construction of these projects that I have mentioned. We've done it, myself, the regional minister, and Get Fund. We've been able to secure these projects just to ensure that we have a full-fledged boarding school in Hen. So we are not sleeping. We are thinking of our people. Even though we are in the midst of challenging resources constraint, but we are doing our best.
Right.
And I can assure my people that I won't let them down. I will not let them down. I will do my best. I have the energy to work. I have the passion to lobby. I have what it takes to represent them, and I will always represent them very well in the Parliament of Ghana and beyond.
All right. My producer says it sounds like campaign ahead of 2026, but I'm sure that a lot more messages. This one from Sham Adam says that good morning, he's a good MP and may Allah continue to be with him. As Dakog Surangman Emmanuel says that the Honorable Caucus is so far so good. God bless him for his good work. This is just the beginning. And he also says that the grassroots tactician, changing lives, transforming Jirapa. Honorable, I want to say a big thank you to you for joining us in studio this morning for this conversation.
Thank you, my brother.
I look forward.
Pleasure.
Like I said, I'll find you in Parliament when next I'm there for the budget. It's November, right? It's the month of November. So I'll find you when I come on and get a few thoughts from you on what to expect in the 2026 budget.
A lot.
3FM.
Time for us to do birthdays as we run out of the studio.
I gotta say this to the people of the world, and sometimes we have to take a look at things from a different perspective. Seen? Oh, what about some low cut? What about some afro? What about some skirt to cover up the ass though? Better show the reality behind the scenes. What about some dreadlock? What about some rasta? What about